do it.
Khris, how did the first playoff practice go for you guys?
It was great. Got after it. Well, we working ourselves today with a little bit of Indiana, but I thought it was great. Great to trying to figure out how to execute better and just be a better team overall.
How nice is it knowing your opponent right away?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. That way, it's not the playing game or figuring out who we're going to play in a couple of days. I think they play tomorrow for that playing game in the East Side. But at the same time, you don't want to put too much focus on one team, even though it's a playoff series for a whole week. You want to spend the first couple of days of working on yourself, getting yourself right, and then focusing on your opponent.
And then for Doc, obviously, he didn't get a chance to do training camp with you guys. So does it almost feel, in a sense, like it's a little bit of that?
Somewhat, I guess you could say that. That's a good way of looking at it. I mean, it's a new season, so kind of starting over a little bit. Want to make sure everything is right from the foundation and work your way up.
Doc did mention the word camp, and he did say we're going to work hard
Mm.
this week. Did it feel like that on the first day? That I was like, oh, okay, we are like actually going to go.
Yeah, we got after it. I mean, we haven't had, I think, as long as they practice or intense practice, maybe since All-Star break. So I thought it was great.
He had mentioned after the Orlando game, he's like, look, we're not a good isolation team a lot of times on offense. It's like sometimes we are, and he kind of, I think, was looking at this week as a way to impress upon you all, like ball movement, some of that stuff. I don't know if you worked on that today, but in general, how important is that for you all to maybe not to try to solve some of that stickiness at times that has cropped up?
Yeah, we got a couple great isolation players that can score, but you don't want to fall into a steady diet of that all game long. You want to have a great balance of, taking advantage of mismatches by yourself and then taking advantage of playing through the whole team. So just got to find a way to create that balance, make it efficient. I thought today was a good step, a good first step in that.
I know both y'all and the Pacers have changed quite a bit since the last time y'all faced each other. When you look back at those matchups, first, what kind of went wrong? What allowed Indiana to get the better of you? And how much can you use those games as a guide going into the playoffs when so much has changed both ways?
I don't think we could really look much at those old games. They're a completely different team, new roster. Halliburton and some of the other main guys that's been starting for the most of the year. Those guys are there, but I think, Buddy Hield is gone. They added Siakam. I don't want to disrespect any of the other guys that I'm not naming, but I think they're a different team right now. So we have to focus on how they've been playing after the All-Star break and figure out how to contain their offense and take advantage of some of their defensive stuff.
Given the uncertainty concerning Giannis and that he's going to be ready, how do you approach the week as far as preparation going into the series without him? How do you want guys like mindset wise?
Until we know if he's playing or not, we're going to prepare like he's not playing. Simple as that. Yeah.
For all, it was like, how are you doing that? How are you preparing? It looks like that he might not be ready tonight, but how do you guys prepare for something like that?
It's just,
One way he needs to stay.
yeah, I mean, he means a lot to this team, but it's not the first game he's missed, unfortunately, so we just have to carry on along. And while he's getting his work on the side, trying to get back ready, we have to focus on who's out on the court and, run through our sets and run through our game plans as if he's not playing.
We always pretty much talk about, the two-man game between Khris and Giannis. And we talk about the two-man game between Dame and Giannis.
Mhm.
Giannis is gone. I don't think you and Dame are going to pick and roll together. So how do you guys try to figure out, how the offense looks, but just kind of you two out there?
Yeah, it's a work in progress that we touched on today a little bit. Trying to figure out how we could both create advantages for ourselves and the team. So we've been working on that. It's going to be a week-long process, and hopefully we could continue to build on that as we go and once Giannis gets back.
Dame in Orlando he was excited about a playoff run with you all. Like he's like, not that 82 doesn't matter, but he wanted to come here for this.
Yes.
So I don't know how important. It's weird to ask how important Damian Lillard is to a playoff run, but to have him in this scenario to start this run, how encouraging or impactful can that be? Should that be for you all to have a guy like that?
Yeah, he's a big-time performer. I think a lot of people know that. So I'm excited to play alongside of him, let him lead the charge, and we all follow behind him. But at the same time, as great as a player as he is, we have to help make the game easy for him. We don't want him to think he has to carry the load by himself. We want him to be aggressive, want him to be who he is, but also we want to make the game easy for him. And the only way we could do that is we have to play a complete game also. We have to be able to knock down shots for him, create advantages for him, and not say, he's got to play 48 minutes and make every single shot. I mean, that's going to be a lot to carry for him.
It's hard to good at controlling your emotions when it comes to the postseason, because obviously there have been some dust-ups between these two teams in the regular season. I don't need to remind you of that, but just how do you stay in the moment, not just get too emotional?
Focus on winning the game. That's it. I mean, it's simple as that for me. Sometimes emotions can distract you from different things, and for me, my number one focus is to win. So, that's all I'm focused on, no matter what's going on out there.
Following up with that, with how those regular season matchups went, all the kind of intensity kind of both sides, and so many of them were so quick and back, in succession like that. How do you feel like that sort of translates to a playoff series where obviously the stakes are much higher?
I actually have no idea. I honestly don't care what's happened in the past. I'm focused on this series. It's, like I said, I think we're kind of two new teams playing against each other. And for us, we don't need to be thinking about what happened in the regular season. Whether we won or lost, or you talk about other different type of distractions, we have one focus, and that's to win playoff games, and that's all that matters.
Are you playing, because you guys have played Tyrese a bunch, this regular season, just again, jealous of he presents and what does it like?
Yeah, he's having a great year. I mean, I think everybody knows how dangerous he is with the ball in his hands. He gets everybody's going for his team. He creates a lot of easy shots, a lot of easy baskets, a lot of throw heads, and he's a great scorer too. So he does a lot for that team. So we have to figure out a way to contain him, which it's not going to be easy. But I think we're up for the challenge.
No matter who plays for the Pacers, they play fast. How do you go about slowing them down?
I think it starts with executing on the offensive end, but then also, transition defense. Just mentioning with Halliburton, he likes to kick the ball ahead, so we all have to get back. We have to have great balance once the shot goes up, whether we're crashing for offensive rebounds, but also knowing when to get back, because he will throw it over your head for dunks and layups and wide open threes. So we have to do a great job of trying to balance, being aggressive on the boards, but also trying to contain their fast break points.
Thanks, Khris.
Thanks, guys.